I served with my husband in Panama Canal, taking Noriega out, and I served with my oldest son, Desert Storm, and I've been deployed 3 times with my youngest son, who's in England. I'm Sandra Webb, retired Master Sgt. United States Army. I served 28 years, and I love this country. I met my husband in California, and his father was from Jasper, Tennessee. My father was from Jasper, Alabama. We were high school sweethearts. We got married. And then he went in the military. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a Cobra pilot during Vietnam. And then when it wound down, he became a counterterrorism technician. And then we moved here, and he made a bet. He said I'd never make it through basic training, and that's why I went in at 32. When you go to basic training and you're a female, you're not mixed in with a male unit. You're not. It's all females. It's harder than you think it is. First of all, you got to take PT tests. And you got to pass that physical training test, or you won't get out of basic. You have to learn to shoot the weapon. You have to learn to map read. You have to do everything that the guys do. There is no exceptions just because you're a female. You go on a 10-mile road march with a backpack on your back, and you better make it, because if you don't, you get recycled or put out. When you're in a unit, you go when your unit goes. You don't have a choice. When I de-roasted out of Panama Canal, I had no idea I was going to the desert. No idea whatsoever. It's just the unit that you pick. And since my unit was maintenance, we had to drive up and down the main supply routes to fix all the American vehicles. You couldn't leave an American vehicle behind. It was hard because it took the hardest job you could take as a woman, and that was a third shop mechanic. I couldn't even change a tire when I went in the Army at 32 years old. Since my husband was in an intel unit, I was in a maintenance unit. We were on different, because you had 5 bases within a 20-mile radius. So we were at a ball, officer's ball, and I was there as a spouse, not as a sergeant. And we all got told to report back to your units, and that's when they did the takedown. So everybody had to show up, had all this makeup on. You don't wear a whole lot of makeup when you're in uniform. But all the people in Panama, they had their rucksacks and their duffel bags full in case we ever had that situation. They were fighting in my carport where I lived at, because I lived right across the causeway from Noriega's office, because my husband was an officer and I was enlisted. When I saw him after the invasion, because it was like 4 days before I ever saw him again, that was the only time I let my husband hug me in uniform. After leaving Panama, fighting with my husband when we took Noriega out, then I went straight to the desert and I fought with my oldest son there. His unit was over there and my unit was over there, and his unit took prisoners, and I was 3 hours ahead of him on the front lines. I actually came back 3 hours to have Christmas dinner with him at his unit, and like I said, he was with the tank unit. So I brought his first sergeant in with me, because you know it's all male when you're in a tank unit. And I walked in his tent and I said, "Private Webb, drop." And he had to without no lip, because I outranked him. That's the first time that child did anything I told him to do. They still call me Master Sergeant around here, because when I first started volunteering here, all I did was fill those bags and hand them to the people. That wasn't enough. So now I pick up everything that comes in this food bank and stock it and keep the shelves stocked for these people. Vets do a lot for the community even after they get out. It's just about serving your community. If you can help, get out and help.